over the seas, and it comes right over our land. And then they want us to have clean. I say, wait a minute, we're going to be clean, but it's all flying. Just remember that. Does that make sense? In other words, it's all coming through the currents, through the air. It all comes. They can name it. They can say exactly where it's going to be and when. First they say, sir, how do you do it? How do you wake up in the morning and put on your pants? And I say, well, I don't think about it too much. I don't want to think about it, because if I think about it too much, maybe I won't want to do it. But I love it because we're going to do something for this country that's never been done before, because this country is finished if we don't win. They had an almost $1 billion cost overrun on the magnetic elevators. Think of it, magnets. Now, all I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets. Why didn't they use John Deere? Why didn't they bring in the John Deere people? Do you like John Deere? I like John Deere.
So let me get this straight. We're supposed to believe that that guy is the sharp one and that Joe Biden is mentally impaired. Forget about looking sharp relative to Biden. Donald Trump sounds like someone needs to stop him from yelling at the clouds. Here's the thing. If you're wondering why Republicans are so hell-bent on claiming that Joe Biden doesn't know what month it is, this is why. It's because they need to do anything they can to cover for the fact that their guy is out there talking about magnets and how he puts on his pants. Of course they're going to go on the offense against Biden, because if not, then the guy who's fascinated by the concept of flushing toilets has all the attention trained onto him. So if you're looking for Trump's biggest weakness, all you have to do is focus on his biggest attack, because every accusation, per usual, is a confession. And let's be clear, this dumpster fire of a rally isn't the only time that Trump has put on full display just how mentally unfit for the presidency he is. I've shown some of these clips before, and I will keep showing them if it means that everyone can see the cognitive decline of the guy currently claiming that his opponent is the one who doesn't know where he is.
They were interviewing him 2 weeks ago, and they said, what would you advise President Obama? The whole world seems to be exploding and imploding. And he said, it's very simple. He should immediately resign, and they should replace him with President Trump. As you know, crooked Joe Biden and the radical left thugs who have weaponized law enforcement to arrest their leading political opponent, and leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take a look at some of the things that he's done. This is the same thing. The country was very divided. And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won.
Brian, it's all coming through Iran, and Obama he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't even mention them in his statements. It's all coming through Iran.
Well, you mean President Biden. So, but right now...
I also mean Obama.
What do you mean?
I mean Obama and Biden, but Obama is Biden's boss.
You know, I was very honored as a man. Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world. And he's the leader of... Right? He's the leader of Turkey, fronts on both Russia. And a very big hello to a place where we've done very well, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls. And thank you. So, Sioux City, let me ask you, I'm for us. You know how you spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that before? I just picked that up. A couple of days I'm reading, and it said us. And I said, you know, if you think about it, us equals U.S. Isn't that? We have a man who is totally corrupt and the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now in charge of dealing with Russia and possible nuclear war. Just think of it. We would be in World War II very quickly.
But sure, Biden's the one who's in cognitive decline. Do me a favor, watch this clip from literally yesterday and tell me which one of these two men has an issue with mental acuity.
The choice is clear. Donald Trump's campaign is about him, not America, not you. Donald Trump's campaign is obsessed with the past, not the future. He's willing to sacrifice our democracy, put himself in power. Our campaign is different. For me and Kamala, our campaign is about America. It's about you. It's about every age and background that occupy this country. It's about the future we're going to continue to build together. And our campaign is about preserving and strengthening our American democracy.
If you can watch that and still think that the magnet guy is the sharp one, then you might also need Donald Trump's famed dementia test. And look, I know some of you watching may be thinking, why even give Trump the attention? Isn't that exactly what he wants? What Donald Trump wants is to be viewed as strong. What any aspiring autocrat or dictator wants is to be viewed as strong, highlighting the fact, and it is a fact, that he is a clown and a joke and a doddering fool does the complete opposite. It shows that in fact he's weak and that everyone is laughing at him. That is how you take down a strong man, by making a mockery of him, because that's exactly what he deserves. And by the way, that's exactly the point I discussed with former Obama Communications Director Dan Pfeiffer on Pod Save America's original program called Political Experts React. That's how he derives his power, right? He frames himself as strong and as tough, and I think that the more we can chip away at this narrative that he is the strong foil to Joe Biden's weakness, the better shape we're in, because it eliminates Trump's competitive advantage. And by the way, it's not like we're lying, right? Trump is a bumbling fucking idiot. He doesn't know that World War II already happened. He thinks that Jeb Bush got us involved in the war in the Middle East. He's confused Biden and Obama more than half a dozen times now. He just figured out that US for United States also spells us. When this guy brags that he passed a dementia test, I think we should probably take something out of that. If you're bragging that you could identify an elephant, you're probably telling us something, right? So the more that we can mainstream the fact that Trump is a doddering, confused man, the faster we can eliminate this bogus notion that somehow he's the sharp one running in 2024.
I have long advocated, going back to 2020, that Democrats need to portray Donald Trump as weak. The way you defeat a strongman is not by raising fears about what they use for the strength. It's explaining that their authoritarianism emanates from weakness. And I think that we should respond to Donald Trump saying he wants to be a dictator by saying something along the lines of, Donald Trump is weak. He's a coward. He bows down to dictators. He's actually even running for president not to help you, but because he's desperately trying to avoid facing the consequences for the crimes he committed while he was in office. And making him seem weak and like a clown is great. Like, I think we should do more of that. And you can see it in the polls too, where in 2020, Joe Biden had a huge advantage on Donald Trump on mental fitness for office. He now trails significantly on that margin. Now, a lot of that is because concerns about Joe Biden's mental fitness have gone up, but concerns about Donald Trump's mental fitness have gone down 4 points over the last 3 years. And so, like, there's real upside in re-raising those concerns and reminding people why they were so concerned about him as president in 2020 that they were willing to vote him out.
Yeah. And by the way, people have a super short attention span with this stuff anyway, so the more we can promote this stuff, because people forgot what it was like because we're in the TikTok era, I think it'll be more helpful. And of course, to see that full episode of Political Experts React, you can click the link right here on this screen. So no, Donald Trump is not weak. He is a joke. He is a fool. He is in the throes of mental decline. He is an embarrassment, and no amount of deflection is going to change the fact that only one of the two nominees for 2024 can't help but embarrass himself every time he opens his mouth. Trump may view himself as a strong man, but his insistence of that idea only highlights the reality that there has never been a weaker candidate for office than Donald Trump, the guy who oversaw his party's losses in 2018, 2022, and 2023, and who himself lost by a staggering 7 million votes in 2020. For someone who beats his chest as a winner, I have never seen someone lose quite as much. In the meantime, while I'm not here to give Donald Trump any campaign advice, I think it's probably fair to suggest that maybe he stick to the teleprompter, because letting people know who you really are isn't doing you any favors. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on this screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.